Again, away from the politics, let's do more business news. The Eastern Railway Line project is set to take off soon as the Ministry of Railways Development begins negotiations with the Ghana European Railway Consortium. The railway line, which will operate both passenger and freight services, is estimated at $2.2 billion.
The 350-kilometer railway line will run from Tema through Accra to Koforidua and terminate in Kumasi. The project will be undertaken by the Ghana European Consortium under a build, operate and transfer agreement. Speaking to Joy Business, the Minister for Railway Development, Joe Gatti, said the contract is expected to be submitted to Parliament in July.
So we are going into a meeting and I'm going to tell them my deadline. I want the finished document so I can take it to Cabinet very soon. Then we can take it to Parliament before it rises in July. And this model, it doesn't add to, I mean, as they told you, the value of the whole thing is $2.2 billion. Is our country prepared for $2.2 billion debt at this time? I don't think so. You know this debt GDP ratio, you can't be borrowing ad infinitum. And so, I mean, if you can use other models in order to develop, it's fine.
The total cost of the project is estimated at $2.2 billion. According to spokesperson for the consortium, Hans Krizek, the project will include a rail line, electrification and stations.
The total investment is scheduled or calculated for $2.2 billion US. This includes the entire construction of the double-line track Tema Port, Accra, Kumasi. Right now we are discussing the possibility of electrification, as I said. Without the electrification it comes to $1.9 billion. So the difference, we are now trying to get additional funding from bilateral banking institutions and also support from the German government. The actual figures which were given to us by the Ministry of Railways Development as a basis for developing our concept were 15,000 to 18,000 passengers a day. And this amounts to 34 trains in both directions daily. And the amount of freight is another 16 trains. But this depends on the amount of the natural resources and the minerals which has to be transported.
Joe Gatti also indicated government will hold about 30% shares in the project.
This is a concession agreement. What it means is that the concessionaire will own, in quotes, the line for a certain number of years before they hand it over back to us. Government is going to also take a percentage of the shares. Government is not going to give the 100%. We are thinking more of 30% of the shares. We don't want to be the majority shareholder. 30% of the shares to guarantee the people's. So we are in there. Guarantee, an extra guarantee for the people.
For Joy Business, Sheila Tamaklu.
Food prices for the month of April are expected to trade mixed. According to Isoko, most commodities would make substantial gains ahead of the planting season. Here's a report on how the commodity market fared in the month of March and the outlook for April.
At the end of trade in the month of March, most commodities saw increase in their prices. Tomato gained the most with an increase of 9.45% to close at 457.17 per crate, with cassava also gaining 8.38% to close at 71.91 Ghana cedi per bag. Groundnuts gained 3.4% to close at 495.39 Ghana cedis per bag, with wheat also making a gain of 2.7% to close at 296.60 Ghana cedis per bag. Gari gained 1.5% to close at 185.90 Ghana cedis per bag, with Puna also gaining 1.43% to close at 605.33 Ghana cedis per 100 tubers. Maize gained 1.09% to close at 147.86 Ghana cedis. There was no price change for imported rice. 3 of the major crops grown in the northern parts of the country dropped in prices. These crops were cowpea, millet and soya beans. Cowpea dropped 5.55% to close at 342.98 Ghana cedis per bag, with millet also dropping 2.15% to close at 227.29 Ghana cedis per bag. Soya dropped marginally by 0.12% to close at 239.17 Ghana. Local white rice also dropped by 0.22% to close at 326 Ghana cedis per bag.
So let's take a look at the nationwide crop analysis and show you where to get that foodstuff for less.